we've got the college football playoff rankings that are going to be coming out this week. First ones of the year. And it's always important to see this because they can shuffle and they move around a lot. And the committee changes their criteria each and every week. They change it to fit their argument. We understand that. But it does provide simple anchor points. And so the AP right now, it's Georgia, Cincinnati, Bama, Oklahoma, Michigan State sitting there at 5. Then you have Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Michigan, and Wake rounding out the 6 through 10, with Okie State and Auburn sitting there at 11 and 12. I think the playoff selection committee, they'll resemble that to a certain extent. I could see Bama sitting there too, based upon who they played and how they looked and just the presumption of how talented they are. I could see Cincinnati probably being 3, maybe 4, but I'm thinking 3. They don't have a huge strength of schedule, but they have a victory, which they controlled the whole game on the road against Notre Dame. And if they're ranked in the top 10, that's going to be considered a huge win, in the eyes of the committee. They might even have Michigan State sitting at 4. Heck, they could have Michigan State at 3 based upon their huge win against Michigan. It was at home, but it was still a big time, top 10 win for a team that will be ranked most likely in the top 10, even after their loss for the committee this week. And then you'll probably have OU sitting there 4 or 5 right there, flip-flop with Michigan State, one of those two. OU hasn't looked great. I know that, everyone's hyped on Caleb Williams and what he's able to do. But if you look back against Kansas a couple of weeks ago, I think there's still some pause and cause for concern about how good this Oklahoma team truly is at this point. I think there's a little bipolar nature to them. Ohio State and Oregon could be sitting there at 6 and 7. Wouldn't be shocked to see them flip-flopped, given that Oregon won the head-to-head. And Ohio State, they still have Michigan State. They still have Michigan. They've got Purdue on their schedule. They have the ability to play their way in and play their way up. So I'm not going to get overly excited about it. Notre Dame, all they've been doing is winning. And then you're going to have Michigan with their loss and probably Wake Forest. They may even throw Auburn right there behind a 6-2 Auburn ahead of Wake, just given strength of schedule. But I don't think the ACC is going to get a lot of love. I don't think the Pac-12 is going to get a lot of love. Big 12, somewhat. Big 10, yeah, there'll be a decent amount near the top there. And I think the SEC is going to have their requisite teams up top. We'll see how it all plays out on Tuesday night and then be able to talk about it Wednesday morning. There's a lot going into this, but it's important. Remember this, the anchors of where teams are established early on. And then if they have the schedule to hold that position, or they have to look really impressive doing it, that's all going to come into play here as we figure out and look at the rest of this college football season.